Crohn's and Colitis Awareness Week, shining a light on the millions of Americans who suffer from the illness. And there are some famous faces opening up about their own struggles. DeMarco Morgan is back with that story.
This morning, a push to educate millions of Americans about Crohn's and colitis, two incurable diseases where the immune system attacks the digestive system and colon. Both are inflammatory bowel diseases. Symptoms can include abdominal pain with cramping, fatigue, fever, reduced appetite, significant gastrointestinal issues, and weight loss. And if gone unchecked or misdiagnosed, could lead to complications down the road. Ulcerative colitis only inflames the colon, whereas Crohn's disease attacks the entire digestive tract. An estimated 3 million Americans have been diagnosed with IBD, according to a CDC analysis done in 2015.
I had lost like 20 pounds. In
an interview with Good Morning America, former teen heartthrob Brian Austin Green opened up about his experience living with colitis.
I would eat food and it was like my body didn't process any of it. And so then you start playing catch up with like trying to stay on top of being hydrated enough. It's such a battle.
And Abbott Elementary's Tyler James Williams telling Bustle his battle with Crohn's disease was exacerbated by stress. Past flare-ups led to hospitalization and even surgery, saying, "I lost 6 inches of my intestines to that."
Now, obviously, keeping your mental health in check is key, as stress can make symptoms worse. Doctors also say keeping a good diet and good exercise can also be a good companion with medication. Eva?
DeMarco, thank you for that. And joining us now is gastroenterologist Dr. Sophie Balzora from NYU Grossman School of Medicine and founder of Color of Crohn's and Chronic Illness, Melody Narain Blackwell. Thank you both so much for being with us. I want to start with you, Dr. Balzora.
Sure.
This can be a difficult thing to talk about. Digestive issues in general are.
Absolutely. Over 3 million people in the U.S. suffer from inflammatory bowel disease. The two main types are Crohn's disease and ulcerative colitis. And there's a lot of stigma that's attached to the symptoms that come along with inflammatory bowel disease. So campaigns like Crohn's and Colitis Awareness Week allow us to bring, those issues to light, because a lot of people suffer in silence. And so they're embarrassed to tell their family, they're embarrassed to tell their friends, even their physicians about their symptoms. And so that's why we're here to, help it come out in the open, and so people aren't embarrassed or ashamed to talk about their symptoms.
And you suffer from Crohn's disease. Was it difficult to get a diagnosis?
Unfortunately, it was very difficult. I've had symptoms of a digestive disorder since about 5 or 6 years old.
Oh, wow.
And around the age of 13, it was very clear that there was something going on. And the symptoms would have totally aligned with having Crohn's or ulcerative colitis. When I was finally diagnosed, I will say that I was relieved, because I was then confirmed and I felt validated that the things that I was going through, I wasn't making up and it wasn't in my head.
Yeah, you weren't just having a tummy ache. There was something much more to this.
Exactly.
In addition to bringing attention to this issue, you're also trying to raise awareness about how this affects particularly communities of color.
Yes. So awareness is important for communities of color, and that the challenge with that is that these discussions aren't happening in our kitchen, not at our dinner tables, not during holidays, because they're not well known. We don't know that stomach aches or other challenges are connected to digestive disorders. And because of that, there's a delay. There's also a delay with our physicians, because they're not readily informed about the fact that these diseases affect any and everybody, because it's been predominantly white facing. And so that has placed harm and disparity on these communities of color. And we were able to understand that there needed to be a shift. And because of that, we've been connected with some amazing physicians and scientists that has helped the Coachee community actually grow and support these community members that have very severe disease.
And Dr. Balzora, there's been a lot of research, but there's no cure at this point. How does someone manage this situation?
Mm-hmm. So the diagnosis can come as a devastating blow, obviously, and the fact that there's no cure, is unfortunate, and that's why there's so much importance that's geared towards research. But thankfully, even in the past 10, 15 years, there have been so many more medication options available to us. So it's really a matter of pushing it to all communities, right? Because we want all people to thrive and understand that just because they have this diagnosis and because there's no cure doesn't mean that there aren't so many options available to them, especially compared to years prior, for instance, when Melody was initially diagnosed. And so I think that what's so important that COCHI stresses and what our nonprofit organization, the Association of Black Gastroenterologists and Hepatologists, also want to focus on is that not only is it important to get diagnosed and have everybody realize that this is a disease that affects all shades, but that we really need to get those medications out to everyone and make those options available to all.
Yeah, and a good reminder to advocate for yourself.
Yes,
If something
exactly.
feels wrong, you have to keep pushing for answers. Our thanks to both of you so much for being here with us this morning.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.